Hello, I am Becca and you are watching Rue's Musings. Today I want to tell you about a story in a book, my favorite yoga book. It's called How Yoga Works, and it's written by Michael Roach and Christine McNally. And in the story, a little girl, her name is Friday, is teaching a captain about the Yoga Sutras. And she's telling him that the thing in and of itself is empty, is nothing. The thing is nothing that we would ascribe to it. And he's getting angry because he doesn't understand. She actually says the thing in and of itself, by itself, is empty. And the captain has a little bit of a temper, so he's getting frustrated with her. And while they're in his office, and this is set way back, a long, long time ago, thousands of years ago, while they're in his office, there's a mooing outside of the window because there's a cow outside of the window. And Friday says, this is perfect, yoga always works like this, that the exact right thing to teach you a lesson shows up at the exact right time. And she picks up a bamboo pen off of his desk and she holds it up to him and she says, Captain, what is this? And he says, it's a pen. And she says, are you sure it's a pen? He's like, it's a pen. Is it a pen in and of itself, by itself? He's like, it's a stupid pen! So she holds the pen out to the cow and the pen eats it, because what is a pen to a cow? A cow has nothing to do with a pen. It's bamboo. To the cow, it's food. And this teaches us about our ability to change our stories. I'm super into this idea right now, that we have the ability to change every story that exists in our head. And everything out inside of the world, kind of including ourselves, is empty outside of the story that we subscribe to it, or we attribute to it. Yoga teaches us for sure that our natural state of being and our birthright is a state of being of bliss and of peace and of contentment and of feeling completely whole. And this is not a place that most of us live in most of the time. And a lot of what gets in our ways, I would say 100%, just a mere 99.8% of what gets in our ways of feeling that is the stories we give to everything. That the driver that cut us off is a jerk, that our mom doesn't care about us, that our partner is selfish, whatever it is. All of these stories that we have, that we create in our head, that's how we form our understanding of the world, they're all just stories. And we know that because sometimes our stories have been proven untrue. Either in the moment, someone gives you a different perspective and you're like, oh yeah, that's true as well. Like mine was true, but maybe I am actually acting a little bit crazy, and your perspective helped show me that. Or looking back on past events where we're like, I'm right, this is absolutely how this is going down, we learn, oh wait, that wasn't how it was going down, that was just the story that I gave to it. And this is such a powerful teaching and so helpful in our lives. I would encourage you that the more sure you are about your story, the story that you've constructed around an argument with somebody that you love, or the story that you've constructed around yourself and your lacking, the more sure you are of the story, probably the less actually true it is. That you've just brought all this energy to the story and it's not actually in and of itself true whatsoever. So I was at home last night and my partner went to sleep and that animals hadn't gotten fed, and I felt like this whole story about he wants me to feed them and I'm not going to feed them because it's his job, and he's pissed off at me. The whole story about the animals getting fed. And he went to sleep and I was still story. And then I was like, just feed the animals because they're hungry. And all of that stuff that you made up in your head about how he's feeling, about how you're feeling, about whose job it is to feed the animals, and how the animal, the whole thing, huge, like, well, I do this and he doesn't do this, and la la la. You all know, you're aware of this. That's my example. And so I just could let go of the story. It doesn't matter. None of that's real. None of that is real. What's real is that the animals are hungry, and I can stick it to him and not feed the animals because it's not my job or whatever. Or I could just feed them. And it doesn't have to be an issue whatsoever. Probably for him, it wasn't an issue at all. He just was going to bed. There wasn't all the baggage around it, and it doesn't matter. So their baggage around what's happening and our baggage around what's happening is never real. It's never real. The stories are what creates the friction. All the time. All the time. So we can change our stories. We can let go of our stories. If you have awareness to bring to them. If you can say, oh, this isn't real the way that I think it's real. So I'm going to choose to drop it, or to become more spacious, or to change my perspective. We have that opportunity all the time. Change your story. So, so powerful. Please share this with your friends, especially your friends who are feeling stuck in something, and we can help each other work through the changing of our stories, the shiftings of our stories, because it's way less about who's right and who's wrong, and is this good or is this bad, or should I not, right? It's not about that the way that we think that it is. Change your story. Please share this with your friends. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye!